Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishache Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Sakshat Kritam Dayanandam Paramarthasvarupinam Tattvajnana Prashastaram Pranatosmi Param Padam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Natva Shri Bharati Tirtha
Natva Shri Bharati Tirtha
Yamunishvaro
Vidyaranyamunishvaro
Adhimahe Panchadashi
Adhimahe Panchadashi
Kaivalya Padasiddhaye
Kaivalya Padasiddhaye.
We are resuming this class after a break. In the last class, before the break, I summarized from the beginning. So, therefore, this class I'm not going to summarize, just giving a gist of what we have covered in the shloka, 15th shloka, 15, 16, 17, 18th shloka onwards we have to see. Just I'll give the gist of the topic, what we are saying. That is Prakriti. Prakriti is a topic. Avidya. Avidya Swarupam. We know, we have seen Samvit Ekarupa Nabidyate. Sa Samvit Nitya Swayam Prabha. The author has said in all the preceding shlokas. Chaitanyam, which is Satchit Anandatmaka Lakshanam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is not understood, meaning that we have the wrong perception. In fact, opposite perception, even though it is self-evident. Consciousness is self-evident, even though it is evident, but we have Atasmin tad buddhi. Wrong perception. Not wrong perception, even among them, it is the opposite perception, completely opposite. Why? Because of pratibandha. Author has defined what pratibandha is. Astibhati iti vyavahara vastuni tat nirasya viruddhasya utpadanam pratibandha iti uchyate. In the shloka, just before, this is the shloka, 13th shloka. Astibhati iti vyavaharargha vastuni tan nirasya viruddhasya utpadanam pratibandha. Even though an object exists and it can be known, but it is hidden from our understanding, hidden from our knowledge, and produces completely opposite knowledge, opposite perception. The cause, the obstacle which makes it happen is called pratibandha. Vyamohaika nibandanam. The author says in the next shloka. Vyamoha, Vishesha Moha. It is not just not knowing the object, but understanding quite opposite to it. That is Vyamohaika Nibandhanam, the obstacle which produces opposite knowledge. Viparita Jnanam. Viparita Jnanam Vyamohanam. The cause for this Vyamoha Pratibandha is Anadiki Avidya Eva Avidya. So Avidya is Vyamohaika Nibandhanam. Even though Satchit, Ananda, this Brahma, Atma, or in the language of Panchadasi, Samrita, even though it is self-evident, because of Pratibandha, and the Pratibandha being Avidya, Vyamogika Nibandhanam, it is not known. It is oppositely known. Like Arjuna, what what Arjuna had, we have seen we can see from the words of the Arjuna in the first chapter of the Gita. Was completely deluded. That is why the chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. The reason for Vishada is Vyamohanam, Shoka Moha Dukkha. So therefore, that Avidya, Arjuna, he lamented not because of knowledge, it's Avidya, Vyamohaika Bandhanam. So therefore, the nature of Avidya is being explained, and that is what we are seeing. Even though Vidyapi Jiveshwarayoho Vedaha Paramartataha Nasti Tatapi Vyavahare Vedaha Pratiyate Veda Pratitehe Karanam Upadhihi or otherwise Prakriti, we can call Prakriti. Upadhihi Samashti Drishtya Maya iti Yashti Drishtya Vidya iti Uchyate. Is there any difference between Jiva and Ishvara from the standpoint of Chaitanyam? There is no Veda, Abhedaha. Paramartataha Vedaha Nasti. Kintu Vedaha Pratiyate, where in Vyavaharika Prapancha, in the Vyavaharika, in the Vyavahara, there seems to be a difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Why? Because of limitation. And the limitation being caused by Upadhi. And Upadhi is otherwise called Prakriti. You can call Upadhi as Prakriti. It is Prakriti only. Upadhi Vedat. Therefore, Upadhi from the standpoint of Samashti and Vrishti. Samashti Drishtya Maya iti uchyate Upadhi. That is from the standpoint of the total. From the standpoint of the individual, it is called Avidya. The word Avidya, you have to note, it is sometimes used to refer to Upadhi with regard to both the Vyashti as well as Samashti. The avidya meaning ignorance, ajnanam, it refers to Vyashti Jiva only as Samashti Upadisakita Chaitanyam. Ishvara cannot have ignorance. So avidya meaning ignorance, that is only for Jiva. Ishvara, we cannot say because Samashti Upadi, Sakita Chaitanyam, Ishvara is free from ajnana. He cannot be an ajnani. Upadi, this avidya, sometimes it is referred to the Upadi, both Vyashti, Samashti. But with regard to Ishvara, it is not avidya, he said it is Maya. So avidya is this Upadi. Sometimes it is used to refer to Upadi. And in the meaning of Ajnanam, it refers to Yashti Jiva only, that we have to note. And Ishvara is a wielder of Maya, Maya Upadi. His Upadi is Maya. So Maya we call from the standpoint of Samashti. So therefore we should not get confused with regard to this. So now we will continue our discussion regarding Prakriti, otherwise called Upadi. It is Anatma, it is Jadam. So in the shloka, 15th shloka, let us chant Chidanandamaya Brahma Pratibimba Samandita.
चिदानन्दमय ब्रह्म प्रतिबिम्ब समन्वितः
Tamo Rajas Sattva Gunaha
तमोरजसत्त्वगुणाः
Prakriti Dvividha Chasa. Tamo Rajas Sattva Guna only, not Gunaha, because please take a look. Tamo Rajas Sattva Guna Prakriti Dvividha Chasa.
तमोरजसत्त्वगुणाः
Chidanandamaya Brahma Pratibimba Samandita Tamo Rajas Sattva Gunatmika Prakriti Dvividha Viprakara. Very clear. The Chidanandamaya Brahma, which is Pratibimbita, which is obtained in the Upadi, that is a reflected consciousness, Pratibimba Chaitanyam, where Pratibimba in the Upadi. The Upadi is called Prakriti. Prakriti is Upadi. There is no difference. Same. And that is of the three gunas, made of three gunas. Tamo Rajas Sattva Guna Gunatmika Prakriti Dvividha Viprakara Bhavati. What is that? Maya cha Avidya cha. That is said in next sloka. Sattva Shuddhi Avishuddhivyam Viprakara. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana Maya. Avishuddha Sattva Pradhana. That is Malina Sattva Pradhana Avidya iti uchyate. So let us chant it also. Sattva Shuddhya Vishuddhivyam
सत्त्वशुद्ध्यविशुद्ध्यभ्याम्
Maya Vidye Chate Mate.
मायाविद्ये च ते मते
Maya Bimbho Vashikritya
मायाबिम्बो वशीकृत्य
Amsyat Sarvajna Ishvaraha.
तां स्यात् सर्वज्ञ ईश्वरः
So Sattva Shuddhivyam, Sattva Avishuddhivyam Viprakara Bhavati Prakritihi. And Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana, Avishuddha Sattva Pradhana. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana is Maya. That is Upadi for the total, that is Ishvara. Avishuddha Sattva Pradhana, it is not Shuddha Sattva, opposite to that. Therefore, Malina Sattva Pradhana, we say. That's a Malina Sattva Pradhana. That is, in terms of Sattva Guna, it is Malinam, it is Malinam, it is less. That is, other gunas dominate. Malina Sattva Pradhana. In terms of, in the case of Jiva, it is Rajas Pradhana, not Sattva Pradhana. Sattva Pradhana, therefore Ishvara. Therefore he is a wielder of Maya. Maya under his control. Because Jivas are Avishuddha Sattva Pradhana, that is Malina Sattva Pradhana, that is Avidya. Therefore, under the influence of the Upadhi, the Prakriti, otherwise called Avidya from the standpoint of Vyashti, and that is Vidya meaning Ajnanam, referring to the Karana Shariram, because that is the Karanam for the samsara, therefore only Karana Shariram. Avidya is called Karana Shariram. And also, why it is called Shariram? Jnanena, this Avidya Shiryate. In the wake of Jnanam, what happens to the Avidya? Avidya goes away. So, therefore only it is called, the Shariram. Karna Shariram, because it is Avidya. And Avidya goes away in the wake of the Jnanam. Shiryate. Shiryate means that which decays, which goes away. Shiryate. So therefore only it is called Karana Shariram. So Karana Shariram is the Upadhi that author will say later for the Vyashti Jiva. So here in this shloka, Maya Bimbaha, that is Mayayam Prati Bimbitam Brahma Ishvaraha iti Uchyate. That is Samashti Karana Shariram is Maya. Tasyam Pratibimbitam Chaitanyam is called Ishvaraha. Samashti Karana Sharira Sagita Chaitanyam Ishvaraha. This is the Upadhi of Ishvara, where Sattva Guna is predominant. Sattva Guna Pradhana Maya. Maya is the Upadhi, Samashti Karana Shariram, that is Upadhi. Sagita Chaitanyam is Ishvara. For Ishvara is reflected consciousness with regard to the total. Total reflected consciousness, we can translate, but we are comfortable with Samskrita word. Therefore, Ishvaraha. Similarly, with regard to the individual, 17th shloka, that also we have seen. Avidya Vashagastvanyaha
Avidya Vashagastvanyaha
Tadvai Chitriyadane Katha
Tadvai Chityadane Kadha
Sakarana Shariram Syat
Sakarana Shariram Syat
Rajyastatrabhimanavan.
Prajnastatrabhimanavan.
So this is about the Vyashti Jiva. So here Vyashti Jiva, in the case of Avidya Vashaha. Avidya Vashaha means that which is under the sway of Vidya. That is Jiva. Ishvara cannot be under Avidya. Ishvara has Upadhi, and Upadhi Maya is under his. Therefore, it's called Mayavi. But Jiva is under the influence of Avidya. So Jiva who has the Upadhi, and Upadhi is Marina Sattva, which is less in Sattva Guna. Therefore, only, you see how we use the word, Marina Sattva. Therefore, only we talk about Antakarana Shuddhi. Antakaranam is called Sattva. Therefore, improving the Sattva Guna, there cannot be 100% Sattva Guna, impossible. You cannot have 100% Antakarana Shuddhi. Ideal Adhikaritva, not possible. Because there is always, it can always be improved upon. Even though a person is a fit person, Adhikari person for the pursuit of Jnanam, still the person may have chance to further improve Adhikaritva. Therefore, there is no ideal Adhikari, always subject to improvement as being a Jiva. Therefore, when we say Antakarana Shuddhi, means that Antakaranam should be predominant in Sattva Guna. Why? Because the Brahma which you want to know, that Brahma is Sattva Guna, that Ishvara, who is Sattva Guna Pradhana, being predominant in Sattva Guna, therefore you also relatively have predominant sattva guna. It means being free from raga dvesha, that avarana, vikshepa, shakti, all these things should be reduced as far as possible. That is what we refer to adhikaritvam, and that is gained by karma yoga, chitta naishchalya, upasana iti. So sattva, suppose if you have 100% sattva guna, can you will you become a jnani? No. Even though antakarana shuddhi is there, without jnanam it is not possible. So jnanam is a means. So 100% sattam is not possible. So therefore the person has to relatively grow, relatively have, relatively enjoy that which Brahma is. If Brahma is, if Atma is peace, comfort, happiness, whole, relatively the Vishti Jiva also has to enjoy that, has to have that. A person without the sense of fulfillment, without the sense of completeness, he cannot venture into spirituality. If a person enters into spiritual life because of vexation, because he could not achieve in material life, could not have material accomplishment, therefore he entered into spiritual life. In spiritual life also he will become a failure only. Because the spiritual life, a spiritual pursuit is not an alternative. It's alternative because you failed in the material pursuit. One has to succeed and have relative accomplishment in material life also. Then only that gives a sense of fulfillment, sense of achievement, sense of full completeness, satisfaction. That is required for the pursuit of spiritual life. So one has to be comfortable with oneself to enter into spiritual life. Not because one is troubled with the problems of samsara, the family, society. Person enters, then he would not be successful also. So therefore only even in Gita, Arjuna being in, even though Arjuna wants to being fed up with this war, want to run away, Krishna insisted him to do, because escaping is not the solution. Escaping is not a solution for the problem, and getting into spiritual life or pursuing wanting to pursue spiritual path because you could not face samsara is not proper, and there also you become a failure only. That's why Krishna advises Arjuna, cannot run away. Then you will lose this world as well as that world. Both will be lost. This world is this achievement in this life, in this material life, as well as that world. That is as a Kshatriya, Swargaloka Prapti. And also spiritual achievement, that is need not be told, that also will be lost, completely lost. So therefore only one has to relate, have these sattva guna. Therefore one has to develop this sattva guna. That's what we call antakarana shuddhi. One should have antakarana which is relatively pure. That is why again and again in Gita, this 20 spiritual disciplines are being talked about, and is equated to jnanam. These 20 spiritual disciplines, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirartyavam, it is equated to jnanam. Can one have 100% amanitvam, 100% adambitvam, 100% ahimsa? Not possible. You cannot be 100% ahimsa. Impossible. Without himsa, without hurting a being, you cannot sustain your life. It is impossible. But ahimsa is talked about. Therefore, one has to be relatively grow in that quality. One should not intentionally do ahimsa. Ahimsa happens by inadvertence, that is okay. So that is why we say antakarana shuddhi. If antakarana shuddhi is there, sattva guna pradhana is there relatively, then the jnanam is not far away. That is why the 20 spiritual disciplines are equated to jnanam. Jnanam eva iti. Therefore, if the sattva gunam, if antakaranam is relatively pure, Sattva-guna pradhana, relatively. Then jnanam is not far away. Shastra pramanena, Shavanena, Guru Sadanam, Anantaram Shavan Kurtva, Shavanena, Jnanam, Bhavati Eva. That moksha is not far away for that person. So therefore, the jiva who has upadhi, and upadhi is malina sattvam, that can be divided into rajaf pradhana prakriti, tamaf pradhana prakriti. So the upadhi, which is malina sattvam, can be divided into two. Sattva pradhana prakriti already discussed, and that is with regard to Ishvara, that is Ishvara upadhi. And rajaf pradhana prakriti and tamaf pradhana prakriti, and that is going to be discussed later. And jiva enjoys upadhi, which is rajaf pradhana prakriti. So in this shloka, it is said that avidya, which is karna shariram, which is the karna shariram of the jiva, it is called prajnaha. Avidya is the upadhi, and that is also called by the name karna shariram, as Tula shariram, Sukshma shariram, karna shariram. Shariram means shiryate. Shiryate iti shariram, that which decays, that which disintegrates. That's called shiryate. Sula shariram asti, jayate, vardate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati iti, vinashyati finally. That is shiryamana sabhavatva shariram. Similarly, avidya also referred to as karna shariram. Why? Because jnanena shariram, jnanena shiryatvat shariram iti uchyate. Because of jnanam, this avidya, which is ajnanam, is avidya goes away, is removed. Therefore, it is avidya is referred to as karana shariram. Shariravatvat, shariravat shiryamanatvat. Shariravata shiryamanatvat karana shariram iti uchyate. Iti avidya. This is the 17th shloka. So, the upadhi of jiva, which is rajah pradhana prakriti, and from the standpoint of the karna shariram, that is avidya, the jiva is called prajnaha. It's called prajnaha. Up to this, we have seen then the 18th shloka. From there, we will see. We will read. Tamah pradhana prakritehe.
Tamah pradhana prakrutehe.
Tadbhogayeshwarajnaya.
Tadbhogayeshwarajnaya.
Viyat pavanate jombhu bhuvo bhutani jagire.
Viyat pavanate jombhu bhuvo bhutani jagire.
I think from this here only we have to see, right?
Yes.
Bhutani jagire. Beings were born. Bhutani. Not beings. Can be beings also, but here we can take not as beings, because Viyat pavanate jombhu bhuvaha. Because these are there, therefore Bhutani can be elements. It is Bhutani is elements. Tanmatra. So therefore Bhutani means elements, not beings. Jagire jandatu, litlakara. So Jagire is jandatoho atmane pada rupam, litlakara. Ja is a prataya. Jagire liti, lit rupam. Jagye jagyate jagire. So Bhutani jagire, elements were born. How many elements are there? Panchabhutani utpannani tyartaha. 5 elements were born. Now he is going to talk about the upadhi, the birth of the upadhi of the jiva, samashti as well as vyashti. Jiva has got vyashti upadhi and samashti also. That is called virat. And Jiva, for Jiva, it is Samashti also. Jiva as well as Yashti as well as Samashti. This Sukshma Shariram as well as this Stula Shariram, that is going to be discussed. That is the topic. So Stula and Sukshma. Karana Shariram being told it is Avidya. So after that, Sukshma Shariram. From the Karanam, Sukshma Shariram and Stula Shariram are going to be born. That is why Karana Shariram is called for Tattva Bodha. We have seen what Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram, that is the definition of Karana Shariram. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram, that which is the Karanam of Sharira Dvayam, Sukshma Shariram and Stula Shariram. So Karana Shariram is a cause for Sukshma Shariram, and from Sukshma Shariram, Stula Shariram is born, and that is going to be discussed now here. So now here the author says, Viyat Pavanate Jombhu Bhuvaha Bhutani Jagire Utpannani. So that is, this Jagat is created. What is the purpose of this Jagat? Jagat Srishtehe Prayojanam Kim iti uchyate asmin shloke. This Jivas are born. Jivas are born for what purpose? In order to exhaust the karma pala. Since Jiva has kartrutvam and they do karma, therefore karma palam bhoktum jivatmanam shariram avashyakam. So that's why shariram is called, the shariram only jivatma can experience the karma pala. Being karta, he had done karma, a lot of karma before, and that karma will fructify in the form of karma palam. And for enjoying the karma palam, because he is a karta, therefore he has to be bhokta also. He needs a shariram. Therefore, that shariram is called bhogayatanam. Again, Tobodha. Apanchikrita panchamahabhutani sat karmajanyam bhogayatanam. That's Sukshma shariram. It is called bhogayatanam. Bhoga ayatanam. Bhoga, that is bhogayatanam and bhoga sadhanam. So, apanchikrita panchamahabhutani sat karmajanyam. Karmana jayate. That's bhogayatanam, referring to the sharira, which the jiva enjoys, has to enjoy the karma pala. Therefore, it's called bhoga ayatanam, tenements of bhoga. So bhoga, okay, he has to enjoy. Shariram is there. How to enjoy? Enjoy means the enjoyer is there. That should be enjoyed. Then only enjoying is possible. Enjoyer enjoyed. Enjoyer enjoying, and this enjoyed. Enjoying means experience, anubhava. So karta, the enjoyer, and the karma, the object of enjoyment, that is enjoyed, that is enjoyed, enjoying, that is the experience. So if enjoyed is there, then only the enjoyer can enjoy. Then only this enjoyment is possible. Therefore, tadartham, bhogartham, annapanadayaha shabdasparsha vishayaha apekshante. Jiva requires annapanadi, annam, food, pana, etc. Yes, hunger, yes, thirsty, therefore you need food, water, and whatever required for the enjoyment. And also the Vishaya, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhatmaka, Vishayaha, sense objects, all these are required. Therefore, Jagat is required. Jiva requires Jagat, and the Jagat is in keeping with the karma pala of the Jiva. So therefore, Jagat is required. And therefore, this Jagataha Srishtihi Katam Bhavati Ishwaram Vina. Without Ishvara, is it possible to create this Jagat. Therefore, Ishwarasya Shakti Rupam Prakritim Vina Asambhavati. This Bhogartha, Bhogya Padartha Srishti. Not possible. Therefore, this Jagat Karta is Ishvara. Maya Upadikaraha Ishvaraha eva Jagat Karta Jagat Srashta iti. And this Prakriti being Triguna Gunatrayatmika Prakriti, therefore, from the Ishvara Ajnaya, Ishvarasya Ajna, Ishvarajna, Ishvarajnaya Tamo Guna Pradana Bhutayaha Prakritehe Akashaha, that is Vyat, the fivefold, the five elements. Vyat means Akashaha, Pavanaha, Vayuhu, then Tejaha, that is Agni, then Ambu, Tejombu, Tejas it is, then becomes O, Tejombu, Ambu is Jalam, Vaha, Pruthavi. Therefore, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Pruthavi, Akashat, Vayuhu, Tasmat, Etasmat, Akashat, Vayuhu, Vayor, Agni, Agner, Apaha, Adhyaf, Pruthavi, Pruthavyam, Oshadhayaha, iti. Therefore, the Srishti, it has come from Tamo Guna Pradhana Bhutayaha Prakrite. It doesn't come on its own. Ishvara has to be there. Without Ishvara, this is not possible. So Ishvara is the Nimitta Karanam. That Ajna referring to the Nimitta Karanam, which is Ishvara. And these are born from the Prakriti, and that Prakriti cannot be without Ishvara, because Maya is under the control of Ishvara. Maya is Mithya. Ishvara is, that is Satyam. Maya is being Upadhi. That is the Upadana Karanam. So therefore, Ishvara is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. So therefore, Ishvarasya Ajnaya Bhutani Panchamaha Bhutani Jagnire. That is, you have to connect. Ishvara Ajnaya Panchamaha Bhutani Jagnire. Tad Bhogaya Tamah Pradana Prakritehe Panchami. Tamah Pradana Prakritehe, from the Tamah Pradana Prakriti. Tad Bhogaya, tat referring to the prajna of the previous shloka, that is the jiva, prajnaha. So tad bhogaya ishvarajnaya panchamaha bhutani jagnire. Tad bhogaya tamah pradana prakritehe ishvara ajnaya Panchamaha Bhutani, that is Viyat Pavanate Jombu Bhuvaha Bhutani Jaggire iti. So these are born by the order of the Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara is Nimitta Karanam. A Karya will have two Karanam, Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam. Karyasya Utpattaye Karanadvayam Asti. Nimitta Karana Upadana iti. Karanadvayam Apekshitam Karyasya Karya Utpattaye. Yata Kumbham Karoti, Kumbhakaraha Kumbham Karoti. Kumbhakaraha Nimitta Karanam. Gatasya Nimitta Karanam Kumbhakaraha. Katam Gatasya Nirmanam Bhavati. Mrida, from the Mrit, from the clay. Mrida Nirmiyate. Yata Gataha Nirmiyate Mrida Kumbhakaraha. Tadvat Jagatapi. For that material is this Panchamaha Bhutani Jagnire, that is the material Upadana Karanam. Therefore, Pancha Mahabhutana Utpattaye Utpattaye Upadana Karanam Ishvaraha Nimitta Karanam Api Ishvaraha Eva. Therefore, Ishvara Ichaya, Ishvarajñaya, Etani Pancha Mahabhutani Srishtani. Ataha Ishvaraha Nimitta Karanam, and he is the Upadana Karanam also. Because Upadana Karanam cannot be located somewhere other than Ishvara. It has to be Ishvara. Does it mean Ishvara is mutable? No. Ishvara, because Upadana Karanam, material undergoes changes. If Ishvara also undergoes changes, then it's not Ishvara, it's a problem. Therefore, that Upadhi is, the changing is, it's Vivarta Upadana. It is not Parinama Upadana, it is Vivarta Upadana. So that Ishvara is, now it is clear that Ishvara is the Karanam Nimitta Upadana, that is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam Ishvara. And Nimitta Karanam is indicated by the word Ishvara Ajñaya. And from the Tamapradana Prakriti, Tamapradana Prakriti, Ishvara is Sattva-pradana Prakriti, therefore Tamapradana Prakriti must be under the control of Ishvara. Therefore, from that, these Bhutani, Panchamaha Bhutani are born. Therefore, Ishvara is the Upadana Karanam also. So the elements, Tamapradana Prakriti, when we say these are inert, Jada. So, these subtle inert elements, Sukshma Panchabhutani means not, it is Stula, it is Sukshma Panchabhutani, Jada, these are inert, they are born. Since it is Jada, they cannot be born from Sattva Pradana Prakriti or Rajas Pradana Prakriti. Therefore, from Tama Pradana Prakriti only it can be born. Because they are Jada. Therefore, the author uses Tama Pradana Prakriti, as it says, Tama Pradana Prakriti from the Jada Sukshma Pancha Maha Bhutani. From Tama Pradana Prakriti, this Pancha Maha Bhutani, which are Sukshma and Jada, they are born. From those Bhutas only, in successive stages, this Jagat is born. So, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. The Tripudi, three things are there. Jiva as the Upadhi, Rajas Pradana Prakriti. Ishvara as Sattva Pradana Prakriti. And this Jagat is Tamah Pradana Prakriti. So, this Jagat is required for the Jiva to enjoy the Karma Palam. Therefore, that Jagat Srishti is first talked about. That later Jiva will be talked about. Jiva is Rajas Pradana Prakriti. And this Tamah Pradana, from the Tamah Pradana Prakriti, this Jagat, which is meant for the enjoyment of the Jiva, who has Rajas Pradana Prakriti. That is possible only when Ishvara is a Sattva Pradana Prakriti, who enjoys Sattva Pradana Prakriti. So therefore, these are born. How it is born? Ishvara Ajñaya. This is what in Sankhya it is said. These three guna, Sattva, Rajas, Tama guna, these three gunas, when they are in equilibrium, when there is no disturbance, there is no creation. Because there is no disturbance, therefore there is no change in Prakriti, therefore no creation. When it is disturbed, when the equilibrium is disturbed, when it is disturbed, the disturbance is nothing but the Karmapala of the Jiva, Samashti Karmapala of the Jiva. That causes disturbance in the equilibrium of the three gunas. So when there is disturbance, then this Srishti is started. So only when there is disturbance, there will be proportionate change of Sattva, Rajas and Tama. So when there is disturbance, then there is change in the guna and the srishti is happen. Proportionate changes in the guna happens and srishti. So if Prakriti is not disturbed, there can be no Jiva, there can be no Ishvara. Because the Prakriti, only when Prakriti is disturbed, then only there will be the birth of Sattva Pradana Prakriti, Rajas Pradana Prakriti. Tamah Pradhana Prakriti. When Prakriti is in equilibrium, then you cannot say it is Sattva Pradhana. You cannot say Tamah Pradhana. You cannot say Rajas Pradhana because they are in equilibrium. So when it is not there, then how can there be Jiva and Ishvara? And that since Jiva has done Karmapala, therefore Jiva has done Karma, therefore since Jiva has to enjoy Karmapala, therefore it liquidates a Jagat, and that becomes a nimitta for the disturbance of the equilibrium. Therefore, when that is disturbed, this Jagat is formed. That is referred to by the word Ishvara Ajna. In other words, Ishvara Sankalpa. Ishvara Sankalpa is nothing but it is Samashti Jivanam Karma Palani Eva. Ishvara Sankalpa. Ishvara Ajnaya Jagire Panchamaha Bhutani. This Jagat. Because of the Ajna. That is the Hetu. Karana. Tritiya Vibhakti. Ajnaya. Hetu Tritiya. So Ishvara, that is Hetu Ishvarasya Ajnaya. It is a Hetu. That is a Nimitta Karanam. This Sankalpa of Ishvara, therefore Jivasya Bhogaya, Ishvara Sankalpa, for the experience of the Karmapala, this Jagat is Srishtam. How can this Karmapala be experienced? It can be experienced. Jiva's Prajna. Jiva's Prajna cannot experience. Prajna is Karanam. Therefore, he requires Bhogayatanam and Bhoga Sadhanam. That is Sukshma Shariram and Stula Shariram. Enjoyment is not possible as Prajna. In Karana Shariram, that Karmapala Bhoga not possible. It requires Bhoga Ayatanam, that is the residence, the tenement where the Jiva has to stay, that is his body, and Bhoga Sadhanam, the instruments by which he interacts with the world and enjoys the Karmapala. In turn, he does Karma also. That further leads to the Karmapala. That continues. Therefore, he requires Ayatanam as well as Sadhanam, bodies and instruments. Therefore, Ishvara Sankalpena, this Jagat is Tamah Pradhana Prakriti. This Jagat is created. So therefore, Ishvara Sankalpa is the Karanam. And Ishvara Sankalpa, for that, Ishvara Sankalpasya Karanam came. Jivanam, Icha, Jivanam Karmapalani. That is the Karanam. So Jagattaha Karanam Ishvaraha and Ishvaras, that Ishvaraha and that Ishvarasya Ajnayaga Karanam Samashti Jivanam Karmapalani. So therefore, Bhogaya, Jiva Bhogaya, Jiva referring to Prajna, the Tad referring to Prajna, that is Jiva, with regard to Karna Shariram. Since in Karna Shariram experience is not possible, with Karna Shariram or in Karna Shariram, experience is not possible. Therefore, that Prajna, Jivanam, Jivasya, Bhogaya, Ishvara Agdiya, this Panchamaha Bhutani, from that this Jagat is Jagnire. Panchamaha Bhutani, that is the first step. Jagnire, it is created. Therefore, the creation happens not by accident. It's not an accident. That's why we say there's an intelligent principle. There is intelligence involved. That's why there's an order. That's why order is referred to as, somebody uses the word order. It's a beautiful word. There is an order. Therefore, that order is, the order is there. Therefore, the order implies there must be intelligence. The intelligent principle behind that. That is Bhagavan, Ishvara. Otherwise, how there can be the order, the things, how can there be a systematic, the creation and everything obeys, everything works under some law, doesn't cross the limit. The ocean doesn't cross the limit, and always there is sufficient supply of oxygen for the Jiva. Sun rises every day. There's no time where sun doesn't rise. There's an order. Sun sets. It may be because of the rotation of the earth, and then the rotation of earth also, it is in order. And for the sustenance of the jiva, sun is required. Therefore, at a sufficient distance, the earth rotates. Therefore, there is a beautiful order. When when no jivas are there, when no karmapalas are there, no jivas are there, then there will not be creation. There will not be even earth also. Maybe it will become one with the sun, because the purpose is not there. Because now jiva has karmapala, it requires a bhoga, sadhanam, bhoga, ayatanam, and it requires the jagat. Therefore, it is srishtam in a beautiful way, in an orderly way. Therefore, one has to appreciate the intelligence behind this. And that is Ishvara, Bhagavan. Without Bhagavan, it is not possible. Not even a blade of grass moves without the will of Ishvara. Therefore, if anyone says Ishvara, Bhagavan is not there, Nastika, it is abysmal ignorance. Already we are ignorant, and in the ignorance it is completely abysmally ignorant. Therefore, there is an intelligent principle always, and that is referred to by the word Ishvara. Tena Ishvarasya Agya Taya, this karma of Jivanam Bhogaya, Panchamahabhutanam Jagire Jatani Utpannani iti. So this is Bhuta Srishti. From the Bhuta only Bhautika will come. So elements are born. From the elements, elementals are going to be born. Therefore, there is a Srishti, Prakaranam, an order. So Bhutani, from the Panchamahabhutani, Panchabhautikani. That is what we have seen in Tattvavada, that under the topic Panchikaranam. This Bhuta will undergo the compounding process, classification process. From that Bhautika, the elementals will be born. The elementals are the cause for the Stula Shariram, and the cause for the Stula form of this Jagat Samashti, Virat. So therefore, Tamapradana Prakrutege Tad Bhogaya Jivanam Bhogaya Tad Bhogaya Tasya Bhogaya Shashti Tat Purusha Samasa. Tad referring to Jiva. So Shashti Tat Purusha Samasa. Ishvarasya Agnya, that is also Shashti Tat Purusha Samasa. Ishvara Agnya. Viyat Pavanate Jom Bhu Bhuvaha. What Samasa? It is Itaretra Dunda Samasa. Viyat Cha Pavanaha. Viyat is, it is Napumsakalinga. Viyat Cha, I think it's Napumsakalinga. It must be. Pavanaha Cha Tejaha. Tejas, Tejasi, Tejamsi Napumsakalinga. Tejaha Cha Ambu Napumsakalinga. Ambuhu Cha Bhushcha. Bhuhu. That is Srilinga. Bhuhu. Ukarantaha Srilinga. Therefore, Itaretra Dunda Samasa. Tamah Pradana Prakrutehe. It is Tamah Pradanam. That is also a Samasa. Tamah Pradana Prakrutehe. Tamaha Pradana Prakrute. 3 words are there. Tamasaha Pradanam, Tamah Pradanam. Tamasaha Shashti Vibhakti. Therefore, Shashti Tat Purusha Samasa. Prakriti in which Tama is Pradhanam. That Prakriti is called Tama Pradhanam. So, Tamaha Pradhanam Yasyam Prakrutau Sa Prakritihi Tama Pradhana Prakritihi Tasyaha Tama Pradhana Prakrutehe iti. So, it is Bhuvri Samasa. Tama Pradhana Prakrutehe, it is Shashti Vibhakti. And Prakriti is that Prakriti in which Tamoguna is Pradhana. Tamogunaha, Tamaha, Pradhanam, Yasyam Prakrutau, Sa Prakritihi, Tamah Pradhana Prakritihi, Shashti Vibhakti of that, Tasyaha, Tamah Pradhana Prakritehe. Sorry, not Shashti, it is Panchami, because Tamah Pradhana Prakritehe, only these are born. Therefore, it is Panchami. Okay, not Shashti, it is Panchami. What Panchami? Jani Kartuhu. Yesterday also we saw Panchami can be Adhikarana, Panchami can be Apadana, not Adhikarana. Adhikarana is Saptami. Panchami can be Apadana, Panchami can be that which is a source of the birth. Panchami can That can be Panchami, which is the cause of fear. That can be Panchami when there is a comparison. So here Jani Kartuku. So from the Tamapradana Prakriti, this Panchamaha Bhutanis are born, therefore Tamapradana Prakritehe Panchami Vibhakti. So therefore Tamapradana Prakritihi Tasyaha Tamapradana Prakritehe. Tasyaha, from that Viyat Pavanate Jombu Bhuvaha Bhutani Jatani Utpannani Jaggire. Kimartam Bhogaya, Tasya Bhogaya, Pragyasya, Pragyanam Bhogaya. Katam Bhavati, Kim Karanam, Ishvaraha Karanam, Ishvara Agya Bhavati Ityartaha. We will read the commentary, the Tika. Kramapraptam Sukshma Shariram Tadupadikam Jeevam Yutpadagitum Tat Karana Akashadi Srishtim Aha Kramapratam. That is an orderly, successive stages. This Srishti is being talked about. Sukshma Shariram Tadupadikam Jeevam Yutpadagitum, for the Vyutpadanam, for the arisal, for the production of the Upadi of the Jiva, Sukshma Sharira. Jiva requires Sukshma Sharira. With Karana Sharira, we cannot have Sukshma and Stula. So there is orderly stages. That is the orderly creation is therefore Krama Praptam, in keeping with the Krama, the successive stages, the order, for the Jiva to enjoy this Upadi, that is Sukshma Sharira Upadi, and that Karanam, the cause of that, Akashadi Srishtam Aga, Akasha, etc. The Srishti of Akashadi, it is told here by the author, Tat Karanam, Tat Karanam referring to Sukshma Sharira Sya Karanam. So, from the Karanam, the cause for Sukshma Shariram are born. Akashadi, Akasha, etc. Akashadi Srishti, the creation of Akasha, etc. Aga, this told here. Tamapradane iti. Tad bhogaya. Tesham pragnyanam bhogaya. Tad referring to that pragnya, that is Yashti Jiva, who cannot enjoy incarnate Shariram, therefore, Tesham pragnyanam bhogaya. Sukha dukkha sakshatkara siddhage. In order to have the experience of Sukha dukkha, these are nothing but karma phala. Therefore, Sukha dukkha sakshatkara means anubhava. Anubhavartam, Sukha dukkha anubhavartam, siddhage, for the purpose. Therefore, it is sampradana. Sukha dukkha sakshatkara siddhage, tamapradana prakritehe. From the tamapradana prakriti, it is Panchami, and prakriti is tamoguna, and here the prakriti is tamoguna pradana. Therefore, tamoguna pradana yaha, again, it is Panchami. From that, prakritehe, purva uktayaha, upadana karana bhutayaha, that has been told before, that which is the form of the upadana karanam, sakashadi, akashena sakavartate, sakashadi, Ishvara agnya, Ishanadi Shakti Uktaya, Ishvara who has the Shakti. What is Shakti? Ishana, ruling. Ishanadi, that is Nimitta Karanam. Ishanadi Shakti Uktaya, Jagat Adishtatuhu Agnya, who is the Adishtatru, who is the Adishtatru. Adishtatuhu means it is Shashti Bhakti, Adishtatuhu, Adishtatru, Rikaranta. Who is the Adishtata, Adishtru, Jagat Adishtru. So, Jagataha Adishtanam is because of Ishvara, therefore, Tena Agnya, Ishvarasya Agnya, Jagat Adishtatuhu Agnya. Jagataha Adishtatuhu Agnya, Jagat Adishtatuhu, Jagataha Adishtatuhu, Jagat Adishtatuhu. Jagat Adishtatuhu Agnya, that is Adishtatuhu referring to Ishvara. Ishvarasya Ityartaha. Jagat Adishtatuhu means Ishvaraha. Who is the Adishtanam of this Jagat. Ishvara is Adishtanam, Bhagavan is Adishtanam. As Upadana Karanam, as well as Nimitta Karanam. So, Abhinna Nimitta Karanatvat is the Adishtata. Therefore, Tena Agnya, Iksha Purvaka Sarjanecha Rupaya. Iksha Purvaka. Yes, the Iksha means Sankalpa. Sankalpa is the Jivanam Samashti Karma Palani. That is the Iksha Purvaka Sarjana, that is creation. Sarjana Ichaya, with the desire to create this Srishti, Icha Rupaya, Nimitta Karana Bhutaya, in the form of Nimitta Karanam, Vyadadi Pratavyam Tani, Panchabaha Bhutani, Jagire, Pradur Bhutani, Utpannani, Ityartaha. Vyadadi, starting from Vyad, etc., Prithivyanthani, up to Prithivi, Antani, beginning from Vyat up to the Prithivi, Antani, that is Panchamahabhutani, Jagire, Pradur Bhutani, Utpannani. These elements were Panchamahabhutani, were Pradur Bhutani, manifested, created, Utpannani, Jatani, Jagire, Ityartaha. That is a meaning. So, by the order of Ishvara, from the Tamapradhana Prakriti, these elements were born. This is the first stage. Then there's going to be elementals. From the elements are born, then there's going to be because of these Panchamaha Bhutas are born, and each Bhuta enjoys the Triguna, because it is born from Trigunatvika Maya Prakriti. Therefore, each Bhuta will have the three gunas. Then the combination of these gunas, as well as from the guna itself, there is going to be the birth of the Indriya as well as the Antakaram, that is going to be discussed the next shloka. So therefore, that is going to be the Sukshma Sharira Utpatti. That is the topic of the 19th shloka. We will see in the next class. So we will continue our Panchadasi class every Tuesday. So I gave the Purva connection, what we discussed before the break. So you can pick up, and now we will continue. So from next shloka onwards, there will be regular class Tuesday. We'll see. I hope you understand the connection because of gap. We didn't forget, and it is all well known because we are the same thing we have seen in Tattvabodha, and we are going to see in Vedanta Sara also. But here, Panchadashi is something beautiful, where the author he presents that in a very nice way. You will see, you will enjoy that. We'll stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी।
धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद शालिनी जी।